Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new video where today we continue our quest to reach the epitome of iRacing skill, the fabled 10k iRacing. However, as I'm sadly not the fastest person in the world, my goal is to achieve 10,000 iRacing across all 4 divisions combined. We are currently at this iRacing level, and can we continue to move closer to our goal? Let's do this thing. Hello everyone and welcome back to round 2 of the iRacing Super Formula Lights. This time round we head to the Hockenheim ring. We had a pretty good run from the back of the field last week, so I thought I'd try to do the same today. Once again, a 20-minute race. We start P27 for this one though. So yeah, we'll wait and see as to how we get on.
The track temp is 20. The air temp is 19 Celsius. 20 minutes. Here we go. Green, let's go, let's go.
Right, so away we go then.
20 minutes
pretty good
remaining,
start.
20 minutes left.
Straight to the outside of the Stake Sauber car in towards turn 1, who luckily is going to bail out. Oh, a little bit wide there through that first corner. Lucky, surprisingly, not to get a 1x, all things considered. But yeah, like I said, we did pretty well in Road America last week. However, Hockenheim is a very, very different beast.
Hold your line.
Simply, obviously, because of a couple of the horrible corners early on in the lap. Mainly only, obviously, an issue on lap 1, or you find a maniac who fully intends on going side by side with you absolutely everywhere here. So this is going to be the real difference maker then, as we head up into the hairpin. How are people going to take it? The answer is quite aggressively, as I get dive bombed. Whoa, by about 3 separate people. We'll take a 1x. Try to avoid the chaos, which we just about will, as someone had lost their wing. Someone else running very, very slowly on the exit of the corner as well then, as there are just cars everywhere at the start of this race. Oh, careful not to run into the side of the guy next to me. So we'll try and go clean around his outside off the corner then. So a lot of people struggling off the start of this one, so I think we've actually made up quite a few spots. Don't really know how many yet. Obviously, we'll wait and find out at the end of lap 1. But struggling actually with the brakes today. I said last week about how much I loved them. Unfortunately, I did a load of practice with my WRC setup on the car, so actually inside my wheel. Which meant that the brakes were really, really sensitive, so I moved them around loads. And then I found out that, of course, I was on the wrong brake setup, as someone has gone... He's done a bot-ass through turn 1. What position are we up to then? I think we're up to about P15. Don't make it 3 wide, please, sir. What on earth is that guy doing?
Left side, clear left.
Oh, we'll have to give a little bit of a squeeze. This is aggressive racing. Early on here today. I'm staggered we made it through with only a 0x. Hopefully we're going to be able to get past Adrian with some slipstream up this straight. Still love how powerful the slipstream is. You can try and force me defensive, mate. It's not going to work for you.
Car left.
Yeah, still just trying to work out how aggressively we can get on the brakes into the corner, as the 2 behind me will bang wheels as well. We're almost up inside the top 10 then already this afternoon. Of course, I think we finished 4th last week, wasn't it? Which I'm not expecting to emulate that run this time round, but we'll try and do as best as possible once again. Obviously, had a lot of fun in that race, so hoping we can obviously, you know, experience the same kind of highs as down the inside of yet another one will go in towards the final sector. He's going to try and turn across me. We were all over the curb, so certainly wasn't that I squeezed him out or anything, but we were lucky not to get hooked round, as I think then. Are we inside the top 10? Are we just outside the top 10? We'll find out in just a moment. As top guy is already setting some pretty competitive times. We are into
13th place.
P13 apparently, so we haven't quite made up as many places as we thought off the start there, but I think we're still up 14 spots, so not a bad way to start this race. Inside the first couple of laps, we're still under some pressure from Nestor behind me, so we'll just wait and see. Of course, these cars, the slipstream works really, really well if you're within half a second, which Nestor just drops out of, so you can see immediately he's going to be under pressure from Lee behind. But yeah, really does feel like the first couple of laps, obviously, you're just trying to spot other cars, avoid the carnage and kind of seeing how everything works. There is a big dive bomb coming in once again by Lee behind. I'm happy just to watch them squabble and run away as best as possible here, because hopefully we're going to have some fairly respectable pace as well once again in this car. But of course, yeah, we did Sebring 12 hours as well over the weekend. A massive thank you to those of you that obviously came out and watched that race. We had a lot of fun. Wasn't quite the race we would have wanted, though. We got taken out a couple of times we were in the GT3s, LMP2s did LMP2 things, but we learnt what it's like in the rain, and hopefully, obviously, we're going to be back with some more endurance racing very, very soon as well, which should hopefully...
Fastest lap for Garcia, 131.0.
So you can see leader already down into the 1 minute 30s. It's going to be my first kind of representative, and it's going to be a 32, I believe. 32 pretty much flat.
Good lap, that's your best in the session.
Then is pretty much flat out. Yeah, 32.0 then, so... The exception of the leader, who looks very, very quick. Everyone else kind of running similar pace to me, as I wanted second gear through there rather than third this time around. Then Lee, I think, is looking very, very racy. We'll make him go the long way around me. Not going to make it, you know, too easy for him. But yeah, there's not really a lot we can really do. Not a lot that I want to do either in trying to defend up and towards the hairpin, especially if he wants to be aggressive with the braking anyway.
Right side.
See if we can switch him. Or
Still
go the long way around.
Clear right. Come on, don't let him get away.
We will get a slightly better run off the corners. I think he banged off the red line. He is just like going to be in front of me. Still have a look to the inside. Just make him, just force him into trying to push in towards the next corner. You never know kind of what mistakes someone might make doing that. But I reckon then this guy, he's going to try and drag me along just a little bit. Of course, we're trying to push our iRacing back up towards the 2K mark at the moment, as that is very, very aggressive through there. Quite where I wanted to be, but we're trying to look around the outside through the Sachs curve.
Incident in. Certainly think it might be. Ito, on your right.
Giving me room where he doesn't need to through that, which is a bit of a shame. He's just a little bit all over the road, so we'll make it back through again then.
The car in front is pitting.
Quick, but maybe a little bit all over the show with someone else's pit. So we're going to get a freebie there.
P12.
If we can leave it in 6th gear. Okay, so that's 6th gear easy flat then through turn 1. Happy I've learnt that now. As someone behind me is running in the 30s. Still just not quite scrubbing off the speed. I haven't quite got the confidence on the brakes today, like we did at Road America. You know, it's still something I'm still learning on this car as well, which is always quite fun and exciting, obviously, in the new machinery. But yeah, I really am enjoying this car there, as we've got a big battle going on further up the road. So easy to lock the rears as well, though, as we almost down into the hairpin. Just so I gathered it up and got a nice little chunk of wheel spin on the exit. So I believe Pedro then, yeah, he's right behind us. So he's probably going to be trying to move through quite quickly. Here goes Lee again.
Clear right.
This time around we'll send it into the corner. Make sure can't quite hold it alongside me, so I reckon we're still possibly a little bit quicker than this gaggle in front when we get it hooked up, but certainly struggling to do so, as never really thought that corner would be as flat as that was. Sachs curve I'm really struggling with. Can't work out whether it's just better to leave it in third and navigate the understeer, or whether we need to use second gear through there just to try and get the bite from the front. But I tell you what, when you get this thing hooked up, I really do start to appreciate how much grip and downforce it's got. There we go, that was into the 30s. Sorry, 31s even. And we are just slowly building it up as well. So we've got a few of us still kind of in this train. So I'm kind of dragging everyone along at the moment. Or I might be just the cork in the bottle. So we head back out to the back straight again. This time around we got a slight run away from Lee. But he's again has got Antonio, and Pedro all over his gearbox. So see what happens into the hairpin. Hopefully there aren't going to be any late braking manoeuvres. See, I'm definitely losing a little bit there, I feel, on entry. But we're trying to gather it back up on the exit, and you can see Rayner now in front. He's starting to fall back into our clutches as that group fights just up there. So I reckon a top 10 might be doable, but not if I ride that curb the way we did on the entry, and it just ruins your run right the way through the exit of the corner and all the way down in through here. Yeah, that is flat, definitely, when you get it nailed, but certainly, whoa, not reliable as we slide the car into the Sachs curve. Again, Lee will look for it. This is good racing though so far. Really hope this doesn't go wrong. There we go. Speaking about going wrong, it's gone wrong for him. That's going to promote us up one spot. Maybe he was the cork in that bottle as well, just up there. I'm impressed with the amount of downforce this thing's got. So really just did not have the confidence with it in practice, but yeah, now watching, you know, kind of watching other people go around in it, giving me a newfound appreciation as once again, Lee seems to really struggle as we move out onto this back straight. So this time around, Antonio's going to go straight past him.
10 minutes to go.
They're probably going to find themselves side by side into the hairpin. Already halfway through.
Front is now 3.0.
So there we go. Still just finding more and more there as Pedro's going to get past Lee as well. So he's dropped to the back of that group. So now we are going to get chased down very quickly. So we want to try and kind of get in with this next group of cars as quickly as possible. Because in something like this, you know, a little lower powered Formula car, the slipstream is really useful, especially up that back straight. You know, it makes such a difference in your top speed.
Now 0.9.
So we'll commit flat through that time round. It is definitely possible, but it is still a little bit sketchy. Let's see what kind of lap time we got out of the car this time round.
Garcia on 30.6.
As long as I don't mess up these final couple of corners, hopefully it's going to be a better representative and maybe just gets the guys in front a little bit worried. Oh, there we go. Rayner again. A little bit of a mistake. And that's going to be a 130, I think. 30.9, so we've got the pace then to fight towards the front. We're still a few tenths away from our front runners, but of course we've had no slipstream or anything like this. But yeah, we are now, I think, up to scrub in this car, and I've actually done a pretty good job as well at pulling away from those guys behind. I think this group extends up to about P6. I think the top 5 have got a little bit of distance over the rest. But yeah, you can still see there's cars off the optimal line, so they're still compromising each other, which is really good news for us. Nice run through the hairpin that time round. I keep forgetting to rebind my tear off as well. For some reason it's one that just gets removed quite regularly. But yeah, I think now obviously we've got a separate license between the GTs and the Formula cars as well. Will kind of let me use, you know, it kind of means obviously we can try and push a bit more with either or without worrying, say, if I take a season away from the other, if I want to, you know, race this and obviously IGP challenge, that kind of thing, and worried about jumping into a VRS race and suddenly obviously not being anywhere there. 30.4 is rapid. That's all. We got another one gone.
It looks like it's Jaeger.
Use the gear just to tip the car through the exit, and that might be us up into P10, or is that us now into P11?
The gap is now 0.5. That lap was a 131.4.
He's clearly not confident in taking that flat, so we'll get the run. He's going to go defensive on me though.
Right side.
Maybe it'll be a switch on the exit of the corner. No, we'll go clean around the outside then. On the brakes, happy with that. And now watch Hiroshi. He's going to get a big run here, I would have thought, on the pair of them in front of him, as everyone ducking and diving for some slipstream. This is brilliant racing to watch, but of course for us, how can we get involved? Or maybe get all of them quite clean and tidy. See what happens down in towards the hairpin. Hiroshi will brake early. Actually fairly cool, calm and collected. I love as well all of the Formula 1 liveries. We've got a McLaren, obviously from current day. We got a BMW from 15 years ago. We got my Audi livery, which is, you know, a few years down the line. So we got past, present and future here, all racing. And I believe Hiroshi's just using a fancy livery, or might be from another series elsewhere in the world. Don't want to hit the outside wall there, sir. Yeah, certainly. Oh, when you're in the dirty air, you want to just have a blend on the throttle as well. But come on then, only a few more laps to go. I think sensibly, unless something crazy happens further up, this is going to be the group that we are locked into battle with. You know, I don't think we're going to be able to aim for much more there, as that is not the line for Hiroshi, so thank you very much. We'll claim that one nice and easy. Before we even make it to turn 1, because we certainly don't want to be side by side through there. And now these two again battling. If they go side by side into turn 2, that's helpful. Brings me back inside the range potentially, or just allows me to build up a bit more of a gap to the guys behind. That's good. We seem to just be finding ourselves, you know, a little bit right place, right time throughout this race, which of course is super important. As Herrera is still making his way through. He's still one that I'm nervous about towards the end of this, but McLaren this time around to the inside of the BMW. So you can see they're 2 by 2 behind me, so we're just going to run away. We're going to try and not focus on the mirrors too much and just worry about these two in front.
Behind is now 1.4 seconds.
Who don't seem to understand or appreciate the idea that we can actually create a nice gap.
Don't think about the lap times, just hit each and every apex.
We want to try and create a bit of a window here if possible, away from the guys behind. That way we can have a bit of a duke out, you know, in the final couple of laps. But hopefully not be exposed. Whoa, 2 losing positions there as I have to get on the brakes to avoid him. Edwin there, I don't know if he just hadn't spotted me or what that was all about, but we were lucky not to drop it round. Because he certainly was trying to get back to the apex, but that might leave him vulnerable to us now.
The gap's now 0.4.
Carlos has got a little bit of breathing room.
131.8.
Oh, that was a 1x. We were a bit cheeky there, but we'll get the run.
Still there.
So try to break later on my outside. That'll happen, sir. Unfortunately, he's probably going to get me back up here, so I don't want to let that McLaren get away. If we can avoid it, he might find himself now with an opportunity.
Car right.
I'll let Edwin back by. I'm not going to try and fight him into the corner or anything.
He's still there.
Yeah, you get the slipstream,
Still
and
there.
you pretty much get into the corner, and immediately you haven't got any speed, as we'll try and switch him off.
Hold your line.
We'll be able to hang alongside. I think he
Still
just
there.
ever so slightly banged off the red line again.
He's still there.
Give me some room, please, sir.
He's still there.
This corner as well.
Clear left.
Occasionally you can switch back. Not when I run like that, though, you can. It's actually quite nice because this next corner is completely flat as well. You can often actually get quite a good little switch off of there in these. Did it a couple of times in practice when racing with other people. But yeah, Carlos might well now have gone. Late on in the day, Edwin is very slow through that corner. So he might be a little bit vulnerable there towards the end of this one. 3 laps to go. My maths hasn't failed me, as that's going to be a really annoying 1x. Obviously, actually, I've got my A license, haven't I, on Formula cars, so we're okay in that regard. Obviously, I don't have any intention of losing it either. Whoa, again, we'll get a big run. We'll just about be able to pull to the inside.
Still there.
Again, he's very confident on the brakes.
Clear left.
Just about gets around me there as Pedro watching on and trying to get involved. See what we can do though down this straight. Just going to try. Which way is he going? He's going to go to the apex.
Hold your line.
I'll have the speed over him.
He's still there.
Inside.
Car left. Clear left. Left side.
Very confident on the brakes into that hairpin.
Hold your line.
Make sure we give him the room. Oh, a little bit of a squeeze
Still
on the
there.
exit. We just about spotted him on our outside. Hopefully through here we'll get clear in front.
Just to car left. Clear left.
And that is way too hot, sir. Thank you.
Clear right.
I could just tell he was going to try and commit that then. Just as soon as he went for it, I was like, yeah, he's gone. Way too aggressive into there, and now we'll try and leave him to battle. So hopefully we can get back up to Carlos before the end of this. We have got a lapped car that might potentially cause some issues. But what is Carlos's pace looking like? He did a 31.3 last lap, so he can be quicker than that. Oh, come on, don't get a 1x. Oh, that's really annoying. Was good with that early on. Really started making errors through there now. Gap 2.2 seconds though, so unless he does get held up by this guy in front, I don't think it's going to make any difference by the end of this race. Now, there we go. Joe will get out of the way. Maybe we'll get some slipstream off him. Could be handy, but I don't think it's going to happen. just be able to get a bit of a run. I mean, every 10th of a second is really, really useful, and we actually will do quite nicely there. It's a huge run past him. Oh, he's got no wing. Why on earth is he still running? How has he not been meatballed for that? Very, very odd. What was these two? Yep, they're battling behind. That's good. But we're trying to see if we can take some time out of Carlos in front. That gap is down by a couple of tenths this lap. It's got to keep coming down by a lot more. We need to be brave through this final sector. Let's go through the Mercedes corner. You can see we do gain a little bit of time in some spots. We are confident through little patches of this lap over him. And luckily, so far at least, it's not really been anywhere where we're losing time either. Start to feel the grip falling away through there. Late on in the day. Someone else clearly not happy. But yeah, that gap just is not coming down enough, is it? I think we got one more to go. Come on. Go, 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 go. Gap's down. We took about half a second out of him that lap, I think. Let's say unless something happens, that is not going to be enough by the end of this.
You've just done it 31.0. You've got half
4
your
tenths.
fuel left.
Staggered by how good this thing is over the curbs here. That turn 1 curb, we absolutely launched it over, and we got away with it. Let's see what we can try and push for on this final lap. We've got 3 seconds to the guy behind, 1.6 to the car in front. Don't think we're going to see any change up before the end of this, but if we can try and showcase a bit of a better benchmark, then hopefully that'll be all good at the end of the day as well. But once again, the Super Formula Light car, so much fun, so rewarding when you get it hooked up as well. And the racing so far this year has been fantastic. Yeah, we've probably been a little bit lucky in a couple of instances, not to, you know, get collected or anything like that, but yeah, really, really enjoyable so far this season. I'm hoping to do a bit more with it. So yeah, that gap, maybe if we'd had a couple more laps, maybe we could have had a chance against Carlos to trying to get back in the window or something like that. But as we make our way in towards the stadium section for the final time, I think he's just about going to hang on. But when you think, when we start this one at the back of the field, to make up nearly 20 spots, again, just like we did last week, I don't think we can really complain either. Don't get a 1x through the final couple of corners.
That's 2 minutes left.
Get back up into 4th gear, round the final corner. It is going to be P8 in the end then, here from the Hockenheim ring. Really, really good fun race that. Happy with how that all went down
that's the finish.
In
Well
the
done,
end.
mate.
Now, let's get off the circuit and let's go take a look at our final race results. Taking a look then at our incident report over the course of the race. Albert there very, very early on, going for a bit of a spin through the gravel trap, and actually I thought he might have been a bit worried then that he was beached, but gets back going once again. Have we got too many over the course of this race? Nesta, so easy to do. So, he just brought the steering back the wrong way though. Somehow keeps the rear wing on that car, as I think we're going to make it through. But yeah, that is really, really easy mistake to make. And it pays the ultimate price there, as so many cars streaming by. So he was right at the front of the field early on, but didn't get away with that one. Alberto again through turn 1. Very odd, and collects a couple of other people in the process. But yeah, we'll find the barrier. Somehow not losing a wheel in that moment, but yeah, very, very disappointing. Then Eric down in towards the hairpin. You can see me a little way up the road. I don't think he realised they were 3 wide there, and he's been really unlucky to lose his wing on that one. Gets the power down on the exit of the corner, but yeah, that is a real, real shame in that moment following this huge train as we go through the final couple of corners. That one's just a bit of nothing there, as Mark then just runs into the back of the guy in front of him. We'll go for a pirouette, and unfortunately we will never see whether someone else collects him in the process. Remy, little bit too much curb on the inside there. Again, another easy mistake to make, but gets the car going again. And almost drops it as he tries to put the power back down. Later on, Eric again, another unlucky incident, as clearly he didn't actually lose his wing in that first one. But yeah, just kind of wrong place at the wrong time for him. And again, going for another spin. Remy once more. That is unlucky. That is so unlucky. And that is going to be probably... No? How has he not lost a wheel from that one, sir? That is quite a miracle. But yeah, so easy, and I was so scared of doing that this race. Just dropping the outside wheel on the curb. Lee, obviously had a lot of battles with him ourselves. Just bottoms out over the inside curb at the hairpin. And that is why you've got to be really, really careful through there. Again, just like keeps out the wall. Not the best fan of the rejoin, but he didn't hit anyone in the end there. Vladimir this time round the outside. He's going to try and switch. Oh, it just tags the back of the guy in front there. No harm, no foul in this one. Gergo then late on in the day, just apparently he's barely steered the car, so that was a bit odd, but yeah, he somehow will survive that incident. Hiroshi late on 2x2 in front of him. Way too optimistic. That's a crash and a half. Wowee. I had no idea this went on late on in the day. And even more cars getting involved in that one then. That is staggering. And, well, Hiroshi then takes out 3 cars in one go. Joe late on. Is he going to go for another just unlucky one? No, I don't think he does that. No idea what that one was about. Remy through the fast right-hander. That one seemed fine. So I think we've done most of our incident report there at the end of the day. Quite a few, but staggeringly only one spectacular crash. Going to look then at our final race results. 49 iRacing once again then pushes us in the right direction, but we actually lost 0.05 SR at the end of the day there, so a little bit disappointed by that. We absolutely, though, dominated the most places gained in this one. Like we said, 27th to 8th there, we can be pretty happy with. And it looks like no one made it through that race without an instant point either there. Robert only getting the 1, so congratulations to him. But yeah, back over 1700 iRacing. I reckon we can get back to 2K pretty quickly. But thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back very soon with more iRacing content.